Hey everybody, this is Erica from the Classy Climb blog. I am sitting in my car in the rain, but I just had to do this really quick one about protests. Protests are meant to draw your attention to something that's terrible, that's horrible, that needs to change, it needs to stop, or something adjustment needs to be made. And protests have worked. You see Flint, Michigan, people getting the water they need. You see just issues and different causes all over the country getting the attention they deserve through protests. But protests worked the best in the 1950s and 1960s. Protest now is more, where do you spend your dollars? I won't spend my dollars here or there because I want to hurt them where it counts, which is financially, okay? PR is terrible, yes, but when people stop buying Chipotle burritos, when people stop buying things to Starbucks or something like that, over Christmas, those are the real protests. Dollars are the real protest, okay? One that's really bothering me is cops and Rudy Giuliani of New York, former, he ran for president once, complaining that, Beyonce had cops escort her to the Super Bowl. So how dare her make this anti-cop song? And the saddest part about that whole thing is the fact that police, it's their job to protect and serve. It comes out of my taxpayer dollars. So what you're saying is if I have a problem with police brutalizing people, shooting people to death, not using common sense tactics, being overly rough, whatever the case may be, not using good judgment. And I come from a cop family of over 7 cops, so don't try to come at me with this craziness. My family members can see right or wrong, not black or white, but just right or wrong incidents of cops behaving badly. And for you to say, well, we want to protest Beyonce and not escort her to games. I'm sorry, you don't get that opportunity. You sat there and said you will uphold the Constitution of the United States. You will protect whoever in your community. And now you sit there and want to protest because you don't like what I have to say. It's the same with cops who don't like being filmed. I'm sorry. It's their First Amendment right. They have freedom of speech. They have freedom to sit there and hold their camera near your face, whatever you're doing. If you're assaulting them, hurting them, whatever. That's not your opportunity anymore. Once you put on that blue uniform, and a lot of times it's black uniform, sometimes it's the green lately, a lot of different uniforms, different cities. But once you put that uniform on, you lost the right to sit there and be biased. You lost the right to say, I'm not going to defend that person. You lost the right to say, I won't protect and serve. You lost that right. So you can stop protesting now because you lost that right. You may not like it, but you still are there to protect and serve. I see great pictures of, it was Ku Klux Klan members being beaten, and black cops were protecting them from the crowds. Do you think those black cops wanted to protect Klan members? Probably not. And under other circumstances would be free to say, I am pissed about protecting this guy. But guess what? When a couple of them put on those badges and put on those uniforms, that was their freaking job. To protect and serve. And if you don't like that job, then go into private security or be a private detective somewhere where you can pick and choose the laws you want to enforce. Okay? That's how that works. All right. Same thing now I'm going to go there. Same thing with the Black Lives Matter people. When you want to jump on stage with Bernie Sanders, but have no concrete ideals, policies, or ways you want to change things, you look silly. It doesn't help your case. Yes, it's good to bring attention to these things. And I know white people who are very angry when they see these really bad shootings. But in order for it to stop, people must start prosecuting these people who do bad shootings. And the money must start coming out of the police pension. It cannot come out of the taxpayer dollars. Because once it starts hitting those police pensions accounts, then you see a whole rash of other police officers standing up and saying, you're not doing that on my watch, you're not doing that on my dime, and you're not doing that with my retirement. It's just as simply put as that. Okay? Trying to think of other protests that are just driving me crazy. But yeah, there's some things like, white ladies protesting some of the songs and stuff that Beyonce's putting out. It's silly. It's just not for you. It's not about you. It's not for you. Everything in America is not for you. It's like being a white person and being angry that there's an Asian American business of commerce. There's a black business of commerce. There's a BET Awards. There's a Latino Awards. There's a Latino Bank. Why do these things come about? Because they could not go to the regular bank and get a loan. They could not go to the regular bank and get business credit. They could not go to regular award ceremonies. They could not go to regular hotels. So guess what? People started creating their own. And to this day, You can go, I mean, before Alabama ran them away with the law, you had whole plazas in Spanish in Alabama. So, you know what they did? They just spent money with people who looked like them, appreciated them, and wanted their money. It's a very simple tactic. Money talks, bullshit walks. When you're in a community and you're mad there is a foreigner owning a shop in your neighborhood, well, you get up and own your own shop there in that neighborhood. You sacrifice your credit and your credit card and buy you and get you in a small, tiny store and stand there for 16 hours a day and make it work. If you're not willing to do that, then shut up and just don't spend your money in that store. You know, this thing could go many ways with these arguments because, listen, I get it. People are angry. They want to protest. I understand that. But at the end of the day, if you're not willing to say, I'm not going to spend my money somewhere, I'm not going to invest my time in the certain TV channels, you know, if you don't like what's being talked about on MSNBC, you turn the channel. You don't like what's talked about on NBC, you turn the channel. This is how you control those things. You don't watch them, you don't support them. Plain and simple. And that's the part that drives people crazy because I remember people hating Glenn Beck. I actually enjoy Glenn Beck, you know. He was just a seeker for the truth like many people. And when he wrote book after book and they would go bestseller, 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 it drove people crazy. But I said, guess what? People that listen to him are voting with their dollars. Voting with their dollars. That's how you support things. That's how you keep things alive, by throwing dollars at it, okay? Same thing when I produce these shows and this content on YouTube. It's because people buy my book. Several of my books on Amazon. It's because people buy the courses to my classes. It's because people support it. That's why I continue to do it. I'd continue to do it for free as well, but I continue to do it because I love the art of it. So, look, I get it. We're upset. We're angry. We want to protest things. But look, at the end of the day, you know, how many times have we seen people call, you know, Cam Newton a thug, or this, or that, and this guy is a college-educated guy who worked his ass off. Plain and simple, he worked his butt off. He's spending his money well. He's not covered in tattoos. He's not punching people. He's not Johnny Manziel, drunk every weekend. But yet, people want to take to the internet and call him a thug because it's the closest they can get to saying nigger. Basically, it's the closest they can get to saying the N-word without their friends and family seeing it on Facebook and being like, whoa, Uncle Tony, why'd you say that? So they love throwing the thug word around, which is just depressing and sad and absolutely shameful. So, look, this is Erica, Classic Line Blog. This one is, I'm sick of your protests. You know, I protest your protests because at the end of the day, listen, we all want TV time. We all want people to listen to our concerns, but you have to realize you vote with your dollars and you vote with what you support and what you share on Facebook. So if you don't like negativity shared on Facebook, don't share it. If you don't like people, you know, shooting unarmed people, you know, speak out about it. But at the end of the day, I protest your protests. So this is Erica, Classic Line Blog. You guys have a great night.